All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dublin Shamrocks. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
Tight right. 3 out. Watch 84. He's going. Check 15.
Bam. Let go.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Set, ready? 10-2, stall. 6-6, pull it high.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
2 yards. And a Bengal first down.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
Oh, you got deep. Walk tight.
Now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He'll look to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Let's go.
At their own 15-yard line.
Ready, break.
56, Mike, 56. Blue down. Check 4. Jam.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hit it.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready?
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a big play there. 51 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Hey, World. Let's go. Dude.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Rush in. Hey, seam 6.
They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Bengals are going to get the football back.
Kill.
Matchbox flights. Hey, box truck.
Mike 7. Ready?
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Now they try the right side here. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
Hey, Mike 7. Get it.
Now back to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll drop the throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. See if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board knowing
Looks like soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points.
That's caught at the 25. 36 yards on the play.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. That's a 2-yard pickup to start quarter number 2 with them trailing by 2.
It's 2nd and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will have a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanic.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he is going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 44.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
2nd and 9 now. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A first down there on a pickup of 25. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Let's bring it. 58. Come on.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Right back to him on first down. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Ready? 90, ball. Hey, let's go.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Ready?
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the kick by Butker is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds. The Bengals drive about to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll give it here to his running back. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
218, chop.
Whip. Watch the whip.
And to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
It's just me and you.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Here we go. 8-3.
He's checking. Crash.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robertson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal. At the 2-yard line.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Hey, Haywood. Snap.
They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll try to run this one in. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Gates with a grab. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
10 yards there and a Bengal first. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Seven's a month. Here we go, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 6. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, baby.
Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it? They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for first. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, Delta. Hey, Jet. Let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
30 base. 64, weak.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Look at me, zipper. Ready?
Back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Gates, the intended receiver there. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their home.